did it! Wow. Okay. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and 1,000 videos on YouTube. Holy shit! That is crazy. 1,000 videos. Now, I wasn't gonna do something like this. I didn't even plan anything. But one of our YouTubers commented on one of our last videos that we hit 1,000 videos. Holy shit. Like, if 10,000 subscribers was not enough, we've hit over 1,000 videos. That is crazy. So, hi, unofficial Hego Gamer channel, Starmaster, Brian, Issac Gomez, Ike Studios, Aaron Grimm, Ultra 0 Second, Starmaster. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. So yeah, we hit 1,000 videos. This is our 1,000th video. I didn't plan anything, so I just said, fuck it, I'm going to do a live stream, just talk to you guys for a little bit. And especially, we're still going to maybe try to do a live stream Wednesday, but those are kind of indefinite now because we've just been so busy with so much stuff. And I've got a ton of videos I'm working on right now that I can't wait to show you guys. And if you're wondering why it is so goddamn high, hold on. If you hear that sound, that is my fan, because it is hot as balls here in Toronto. And we're crazy with heat right now. Yes, I am growing a beard. I know a lot of people have noticed that. A couple reasons why. One, a lot of people, friends I know, have said you should grow a beard. That actually look pretty rad, and I'm kind of liking how it's coming out. I'm checking it, I'm trimming it, I'm making sure it looks nice. But it's also because I figured for my character it would look kind of rad. So doing that for a little bit, gonna see how it turns out, and yeah, so that's happening. But yeah, it's just been really crazy. Oh, you're in California, Ziller Universe. Oh, God. Like, California is crazy. I haven't been to California in probably over 10 years. The last time I went was in a trip in 2010. I went to LA. I went to Disneyland. I went to Universal Hollywood. And then I went around. I think I went up to San Francisco for a little bit. But that was my only time I had ever been. Oh, yeah, Alberta, man. Dr. Waluigi, I wanted to say Alberta, fellow Canadian. Oh, dude, I've actually wanted to visit Alberta because my sister used to live there for a short period, and I did want to go check out the dinosaur stuff down there. So, oh, God, Starmaster, you're in California? Holy shit, dude. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, like, that's crazy. Speaking of all travel and so on, I figured I'll open these up while we're at it. I've got some fan mail, and there's a couple here. One is from, obviously, Potterstown. There's one from Calgary, and there's two from Potterstown, one from Calgary. So we're going to just kind of open these up and see what the hell is all on here. And then maybe I'll invite some people on if they want to show up. But yeah, guys, again, I apologize lately this summer for the lack of videos. I've been really trying, but lately a lot of things have been very complicated. One, things are opening up again, so social life has to come first. Second of all, camera's still busted. Right now, I am currently using a GBC video camera to film stuff, but I am still waiting to invest in a new camera. And on top of that, my tower is working great, but it's slowly starting to show its age. I've had this thing for almost 10 years, and my cousin-in-law, who actually helps run my website, BigJackFilms.com, says it's time for an upgrade. So we're actually going to be upgrading our technology soon, hopefully. So it's that and just lack of motivation to I've been got a bit of burnout, but don't worry. In terms of answers, Hunter Janky, I will be doing a Halloween special this year, and it's been one I've been wanting to do for a while. We did have to cut a few corners because of the pandemic, but we're hoping to come out with something really special. So look forward to that. That's going to be happening in October. I will be doing a apartment room tour at some point. I will say this. One thing I'm going to be doing is the early start of 2022. I'm going to be doing some pretty rad videos, especially after this season wraps. First of all, I will be doing an apartment tour because a lot of you want to see the new place. And second of all, I will be doing something interesting. So this is not a guarantee, but it's kind of an idea I had actually today that I was writing, and I showed it to a few friends, and they're like, you should actually do this. So 2022, February 2022, I'm turning 30. Most people think I still look 18, 19. No, I'm actually almost 30. That's crazy. And to celebrate, I figured, why don't I finally come clean and show you guys and share with you guys my top 30 favorite movies. That is going to be a list. It's not going to be a review, essentially. It's going to be more like, if you guys remember when I did that Godzilla vs. Kong sort of video essay where it was just me narrating and talking about the movie and how it was going to save the blockbuster scene, which it kind of has. I was kind of right about that. It's going to be kind of like that, where I just kind of do a 3-part thing of just me talking about my top 30. And I had to rearrange it a little bit, but I will start working on that soon. No, God, don't be starting to celebrate my birthday. It ain't till February. I've still got like 7-8 months left of my 20s. Let me salvage it. Let me savor it. Oh, God, I'm going to be an old man, and all you young kids are going to be up there and getting jobs and shit. But anyway, let's open up some fan mail. So this first one is from Calgary. Usually don't get those often. We're good, Koei and Dio 1260. It's funny because I was originally thinking about just putting up a new Inuyasha vlog, but because this is going out tonight, I might savor it for next week. I don't know. I'll make that decision, but I filmed 3 Inuyasha vlogs today, which is fantastic. And I've got a couple other videos in the works. I've got some videos of old footage that I haven't shown yet. Yeah, that's what's happening. So we got this one from Calgary. Yeah, and I figured I'd do a late night stream because I know I have a lot of, I looked at my algorithm and shit. About 75 or 90% of my audience is American. And I know there's a lot of people on the other coasts in California and shit that don't really see my videos when they air in live streams because everybody's asleep at that point when I do streams. So this is more for you guys on the other coast. So there's that. Awesome Inuyasha Dinosaur 101. You're redesigning Toa Setsuna with Toa dog ears. I have not seen the Invisible Man Hunter Jockey. So this one, let's see here. This is a really big letter. So let's see there. You know, it's like, do not open until 1947, Monty. King Kong 2, it just says on the top. Dear BigJackFilms, my name is Raylan Renee Capel, and I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Well, welcome, fellow Canuck. For a long time, I've been watching a lot of your videos. I even liked your video when you reviewed the canceled Peter Jackson's original King Kong movie from '96. But I say both Peter Jackson's King Kong films are incredible and are a big hit. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not saying that the Jackson movie is bad. Far from it. It's a great movie. It's a wonderful tribute. It's a love letter to his favorite film. Not many filmmakers can do that. I just think because every Kong remake had its own spin on the story, they kind of just did shot for shot, and it came off a little bit into that Psycho remake territory. And there's times that's okay, but then there's times it's like, I kind of like that Indiana Jones ripoff more. Let's see here. Continuing on with the letter. The first video I ever watched from your channel was your fan-made version of King Kong. I give it 9.5 stars because the plot was amazing, the characters were fun, the setting was interesting, and everything in it what I loved. Thank you so much. Yeah, surprisingly enough, guys, our remake's close to 1 million views, which if we can get it up here by the end of the year, I'd really appreciate that. I am slowly working on the documentary. I am working on a few things. In fact, I might be meeting some of the cast members I haven't seen in years, so they might be showing up a few times. Who knows? But now that we're socializing again, it's like, I gotta get back to work. That's why maybe also videos are taking too long, because I'm prepping everything for the big shit. Let's see. Let's continue here. Setting was which I asked you to please make a sequel to your fan film. It takes place 4 years after the events of the first film. Story follows Anne being in prison for 4 years because the people of New York blame her for Kong's destroying the city. 4 years later, she's finally free from jail and sees Jack Driscoll, some allies from the first film, and new characters venture banks on Skull Island to stop Carl Denham from capturing all the creatures to create his army of prehistoric beasts. because in the sequel it's revealed that Denham survived his fall, which doesn't make any sense. Let's see now, and he has a robot. So he become Doctor Who, seeking revenge, and so on. This is a very long letter. Yeah, so there's a whole plot here for a sequel. I will keep this in mind because I know that is one of the biggest questions I get is if I'm ever going to do a sequel. The answer is no. It's a one-shot movie. I hate it when people make a film that's meant to be a one-shot thing, and everybody's like, sequel, franchise, because it's a hit. It's like, no, I just want to tell the story as a one consistent tale. So in terms of, like, I know there's a lot of people who want a sequel, so I'm going to compromise. At some point on the King Kong reviews, I've been kind of tinkering with this idea that since I did the Son of Kong Into the Wolf Slayer episode, that went really well. I might do one for my own remake saying, look, I'll give you half of what you want. I'll actually give you best of both worlds. I'll do a King Kong review, but I'll also talk about what I would do with the sequel if I did. And it won't be an actual production. It'll just be like, here's my pitch. Here's what I would come up with. It's nothing special. That's it. I wouldn't do too much with it. I just don't think there's enough for a sequel. There isn't enough to make one. And on top of that, it's just something I'm just not interested in. I want to do other projects. I want to do other genres. That's why I'm doing that. I want to plan at some point in Inuyasha fan film because I want to kind of dive a little bit into the fantasy. Like, here's the thing, guys. Lately, I've been really getting back into the fantasy genre, like the medieval fantasy genre. I mean, Legend was the first kicker to that, doing that review. But I do want to talk about other works. I want to talk about, at some point, I want to talk about The Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, because that is one of my favorite movies, in the top 5, and it definitely just really changed my life. And we're now on the 20th anniversary of the first film, The Fellowship of the Ring, but I'm thinking I'm going to save the trilogy for 2023 for the 20th anniversary of the one movie I considered ever deserving the Academy Award for Best Picture, Return of the King. That will be the goal. I want to maybe review that trilogy in 2023 for the 20th anniversary of the final film. That's when I think it's going to be the most appropriate, and that's when I'm probably going to talk about it. But that's kind of where I want to go with stuff. I want to work on other projects that aren't just Kong, that aren't just dinosaurs. I want to expand on other worlds and mythologies. I want to explore, like, the fantasy, I'm really into that kind of stuff. Anime, I want to talk about more movies. In fact, guys, I'll give spoilers on my next review, since it's the 1000th video. My next review will be The Great Escape from 1963. A classic beyond classics. It's my favorite World War II movie. It's one of my favorite movies. It's a very lengthy review. Like, I'm editing it right now. The editing portion, the review portion is clocking in at over 20 minutes, and that's not including storylines or live segments. So The Great Escape is going to be my next review, and I really hope you guys can enjoy it because that is one of my favorite fucking movies of all time. And it's going to be a nice little dive into the film, my own personal takes, and it's going to kind of tie into the story a little bit. So I'm hoping to maybe put out a trailer Friday. There's no release schedule yet. I'm still editing it. That is taking the majority of my time, but it is coming along. In fact, at some point, I would love to invite you guys into the editing process. But right now, it's something where I don't want to reveal too many secrets. And maybe just, like, it'll be, if I do, like, an episode prior, like an episode that's kind of padding, maybe then I'll show you the editing process. But that is definitely going to be my next review, is The Great Escape. Look forward to that. That is one of my favorite movies. So, yeah, I just want to kind of focus on other projects. I mean, I know a lot of people want a sequel, but I don't have the energy or the time for it. It's just not up my alley. If anything, one other Kong project I've thought about doing, and it's something I've been kind of investing in slowly. It's a slow process. I might be considering fully adapting the 96 Kong, but not as a comic, not as a written piece of work, not as a fan film, live action. I want to tell it in Lego, because I missed making Lego videos, Lego movies, and with the advanced technology I have, the gold mine is there for me to make those. I want to go back a little bit to brick films if I get the chance. And I think Kong 96 is going to be a project I really want to work on. Right now, I'm just investing in the right sets and pieces I need, but that will be something I do want to work on at some point fully. And in terms of how I will release it, because I know it's going to be a very long process, I think if anything, I would probably release it episodically as a micro series. Sort of like every scene in the script will be an episode, and it'll just play out by ear as we go along. And obviously, one thing I will definitely do is if I'm going to be working on something animated, I want to do a casting call. I want to maybe see if any of you guys want to do voices for the characters. That will be coming along at some point. But right now, it's just I've got to focus on the rest of the season and a few other projects, but it's going to be sort of on the sidelines for now. So that is going to be happening, and there's a lot of projects happening here at the studio. We're just waiting for things to be 100%. Like, things are opening up now. We're going slowly back to socializing. In fact, again, I announced this in my episode, but if you guys want to meet me in person, I'm going to be at FANEXPO in October at the Toronto Convention Center. I'm debating if I want to get a booth or if I want to get, like, just as a guest, YouTube guest. I don't know, because of the capacity if we're going to have enough guests available. But if you guys want to go meet me at FANEXPO, link down below. You can purchase tickets still. They're very limited because they're doing a very limited capacity at this convention. But if you guys want to meet me, hit me up. Hit me up. Go check me out at FANEXPO. I'll be there. I'll have a few friends with me. I'll be in cosplay. Be kind of a fun time to see fans again. So in case you guys are interested. So that's happening. Next letter. These two are from Potterstown. This guy likes to send me a lot of stuff. Thank you so much for 1,000th video, not episode, video. Not my whole channel. Not every channel is continuity with the show. I've actually already had my 100th episode on Dragon Ball Evolution, which happened a few years ago, which, by the way, guys, that episode is really picking up steam, which I really love. And one thing I will say is that it actually got picked up by a group of sort of EFAP-esque live streamers that I kind of caught by accident. They were watching my Star Wars trilogy reviews, and they're known as, I think, Script Corners? I believe Script Corners, but they, bear in mind, they are very edgelordy, but they have good hearts, and they have good intentions, and their edgelordy is not meant to be taken seriously, and they roast the shit out of my reviews, but you know what? I can take a crack when I can. I can actually take some good laughs from them. I actually am on their Discord just to kind of pop in once in a while. I just kind of, like, because the thing is, when it comes to criticism of my work, I'm not like a Derek Savage, or I'm not like a Uwe Boll, or I'm not a Tommy Wiseau, or any of these big studios who say, they didn't talk good about my movie, I'm going to strip the copyright and cause a scene. No. Good or bad, I appreciate it, especially if the bad parts are humorous and I can take a hit. And they are really funny. Their reactions to my videos seeing it are some of the funniest shit I've seen. And I just want to give them a major shout out because they only have a few subscribers, but you know, if you want to see them trash other reviewers, they do this basically, I think it's called like Review Rewind or like Review, where it's like they review other reviewers. It's definitely best to just take their roasting and their words with a grain of salt, but they're good. They're really good. They have good-minded hearts, and they're worth checking out. So there's a plug-in for you guys at Script Corners. I know you guys watch my videos occasionally, but if you happen to see this live stream, you're welcome. Oh, from one YouTuber who's got like almost 18,000 subscribers to a group that's only got about 600, you guys got a big shout out there. So there you go. So let's move on to this Potterstown letter. Because, oh God, what is happening? Someday review the Alien Predator movies. I've only seen the first Alien, believe it or not. So we've already got a couple lists here. So our friend from Potterstown sent us his best movies of 2021. The best movies are, the top 10 best movies are Arlo the Alligator Boy. Don't know what that is. Nobody. Don't know what that is. Justice Society World War II. Don't know what that is. Stowaway. Don't know what that is. Wish Dragon. Don't know what that is. Batman Soul of the Dragon. That came out this year? Huh. Judas the Black Messiah. I have not seen that. Justice League, Zack Snyder's cut. Okay, yeah, it was pretty good. Michaels versus the Machines. They keep changing the title of that. I remember seeing the trailers. I thought it looked fascinating, but you know what? I don't know. And Godzilla versus Kong, obviously. But the worst movies this year so far have been Earwig and the Witch, Chaos Walking, Thunder Force, Spirit Untamed, Scooby-Doo, The Sword and the Scoob, Rayla and the Last Dragon, Tom and Jerry 2021. I'll say this about the Tom and Jerry movie. I already knew it was going to be bad. It gave me those Smurf vibes. And I love the fact that the Tom and Jerry movie from 1992, which I grew up with as a kid, is a better movie. And it is a better movie. It is a way better movie. Just saying. Zach says, is Titanic 2 one of the worst asylum films in your opinion? And will there be a future review? It is. It is one of the worst in the franchise. It is one of the worst in that company's history. It's up there with the 100 Million BCs, the Kong King of the Apes. It's bad. It's bad. It has one of the worst pun lines I've ever heard in a movie. One of the worst pieces of dialogue ever written. When the ship's sinking again, there's one guy who turned. It's that. Remember the scene in the original Titanic where they're going through the plans? It's like an E-deck, back and back. There's no stopping it. When can we get out of the way, damn it? That's 5 compartments. It's only a matter of uncertainty. Titanic will flounder. But the ship can't sink. She's made of iron, sir. I assure you she can. And she will. How much time? An hour? 2 at the most? And how many men on board, Mr. Murdoch? 2,200 souls on board, sir. I think you will get your headlines, Mr. Ismay. Imagine that whole scene. But at the very end, and it's the sequel, it happens again. Here we go again. And the guy says, imagine Smith's just like, I believe you will get your headlines, Mr. Ismay. And then one guy says, well, it looks like history is repeating itself. That line gives me cancer. It's so fucking bad. It's so fucking bad. Fuck that piece of shit. There's your answer. There's your answer, Zach. Continuing worst movies of 2021. So yeah, the Tom and Jerry movie's not good. Cruella, that's one of the mainstream worst movies I've ever seen. That beat the record. That is very close to being one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I'm not talking about that anymore. You know what? As much as King of the Lost World is the worst movie I've ever seen, Ape vs. Monster, which I haven't watched yet, is already a better movie than Cruella. Yeah. Like, Cruella's kind of right dab in the middle of the worst asylum movies and the more tolerable ones. They're all pieces of diarrhea. If you can make pieces of diarrhea, it's liquid shit. But it's kind of dab in the middle, getting gangbanged by the two. It's that bad. And Peter Rabbit 2. Right. Okay, I don't give a fuck about Peter Rabbit because I watched this kind of Anna Green Gables cartoon thing that had Peter Rabbit and shit in it. It was really good. I remember watching it fondly as a kid. That song Perfect Day will be stuck in your head. It's a beautiful piece. And I like that cartoon. I did like that show growing up. And I saw the previews for this. I'm like, well, this looks like shit. Way to ruin my childhood, my innocence. Because the biggest issue I have, I remember seeing actually a preview for it during Space Jam 2. And I turned to Josh and I saw the guy they cast as Mr. McGregor, if you read the books. And I said, that is not Mr. McGregor. That is not Mr. McGregor. Mr. McGregor is an old fart with the beard who should be played by Brian Blessed or John Rhys Davis. That is not Mr. McGregor. That is a dude. That is a kid. That is a teen. That is a James Marsters, because you can get James Marsters because he's in Sonic and Enchanted and Hop. This is stupid. I have no interest in seeing that piece of shit. So, do not care. So, he sent us a letter. There's my rant on Peter Rabbit. I hate the movies, but I like that show. Every reaction to Plague of Madness. What is Plague of Madness? Can somebody explain this? Can somebody explain this, please? I have no idea. But anyway, letter time. How did you like the scene in Godzilla versus Kong when Kong kills Mechagodzilla. That was great. That was right out of Mortal Kombat. I will say this. Hell or High Water. Godzilla vs. Kong will be the season finale episode to season 6. That I will say. Oh, this is cool. There's a little King Kong thing here. I love this. King Kong 2005, 2006, Disney's Tarzan and all that. Oh, that's actually kind of nifty. That's actually kind of cool. You even put some 96 Kong art. That's awesome. Now, I do want to do a collage of all of my artwork I've sent from you guys. Because you guys are so cool. I don't know where to put it, though, is the thing. All right, last one from Potterstown. Let's see here. Why don't you like Shrek? Because the internet ruined it. The internet ruined Shrek. I mean, the first two are fine. They're okay movies. Am I the biggest religious cult fan of it? No. I just think they're okay. They're very mean-spirited. They're a total middle finger to Disney because Jeffrey Katzenberg got all pussied and all, like, pissed off and, jelly and sour about losing to Michael Eisner as the head of Disney, that he said, fuck it, I'll make one. Shrek 3 is fucking garbage. Hated that one. And 4 was meh. And all the specials. I'm just so done with Shrek. I'm so done. It's overrated. I'm sorry. More lists of stuff that this guy sends me. He never sends me a letter. Pictures of shows and movies in the papers. So let's see. Oh, God, what's in here? Animated atrocities. Oh, my God. This guy brought up where the dead go to die. I saw that movie, and I was completely I felt like my soul left my body. It was terrifying. I felt like I lost my brain cells and my soul watching that. That was terrifying. And wasn't that all made on a Kinect? Like, animated on an Xbox Kinect, with motion capture? Not one of the worst animated films of all time, but it is the worst film of the 2010s decade. Yeah, that movie freaked me the hell out, Where the Dead Go to Die. That was very weird. A very weird motion picture. How was that even a movie? That was an art house film. I don't think I even counted as a movie. These are stuck together for some reason. Yeah, Dead Go to Die, and Marvel Animations is Primal. Again, I need to watch Primal. I know a fan did send me it all on a USB. Perhaps I will do it for an opening night, just talk about the show. I know I am backed up on Patreon sponsored reviews that want me to talk about a couple of opening night movies. I'm going to do The Notebook, which is something I haven't watched yet. And somebody also requested, I think I watched Darkman. I think it was Darkman. I'm not 100% if it was Darkman or something else. But I will definitely be getting on that. But I think that's it for the fan mail. Yeah, that's about it. So let me see if I can bring some people in here. Plague of Nightmares Things is based on a claymation show called Pingu. Yeah, I used to watch Pingu. I used to kind of watch it. It was kind of like here and there, but it never really was my thing. But yeah, just Pingu was just okay. Do I like 1 million BC or Sharknado? I'd rather watch 100 million BC because I refuse to sponsor anything from Sharknado. Anybody who sponsored that franchise, you suck. I don't like Sharknado. I'm sorry. It's just not my thing. So let me invite a few people onto this if they want to come in. Let me see here. All right, come on, you stupid computer. Don't be a douche. Oh God. Now, let me see here. Who do I want to bring in? Let me get somebody I think I know will want to come on here. Let me just put this fucker on blast if he wants to jump on, as well as I'm going to send this to Matt from Monstrosities to see if he would like to join us too. There we go. See if he wants to jump on. So hopefully they show up. I would hope. I mean, I know we're going a little late on this stream, but let me also go on Discord and see if I want to invite a few people. Who to bring in? If they want to join us, they can. I'm going to bring in a few people if they're interested. I hope they show up and see the link. So it'd be really cool if they want to join us. Okay, so I think that'll do for now, perhaps, if they want to join us. But they're there if they want to come on. But let me go to Discord and see if anybody wants to join us. Hi, Jack. I'm a guy who told you about the Kong movie with the toys. But an update, that movie will be in stop motion. Awesome. Looking forward to that. Have I seen The Twilight Zone? I've seen a few episodes. My favorite episode is, what's that one with the perfect life, where that's that whole town where the kid has like the supernatural powers. That's one of my favorite episodes. I love The Shelter, the bomb shelter one. That one is just shows, that was like 2020 predictions in 1960 something. That was crazy how much that thing was just, spooky. It was a metaphor for the future of filmmaking. Oh my God. Do I want to bring monstrosities in? Is there anybody? We have our first guest, guys. We have our first guest in the house. It is joining us for the 1000th video. Jay from Nerd Cage Live. How you doing, man?
What's up? Big Jack on the attack after midnight. What's up, my man?
Well, I'm bored. I've got caffeine in my system, and it's my 1000th video. I was originally just going to do an Inuyasha vlog, but I said, fuck it, I haven't done a stream in a while.
Congrats on 1,000 videos, man. And, well, you're not dirty 30 yet, but you're getting there. But congrats on 1,000.
Well, I mean, I thought of something interesting is that because next year I am 30, and I'm going to do top 30 favorite movies. That's going to be one of my videos for next year. So I kind of, you saw the list, no spoilers, but you saw the list, and you got to admit it's a pretty rad list.
Yeah, I dig it. It's a good list. And if someone just saw that list, they'd be like, yeah, that's definitely Big Jack.
Yeah, I'm also going to make a little plug for you guys. So if you guys are interested, July 29th, I will be on Nerd Cage's YouTube channel for a screening of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, a comic book anime kind of live action movie, better
Video
than
games
Evolution, that will be that takes place in Toronto. So check it out there. Oh shoot, we got a super chat. Hold up. Super Michael 98, thank you for the $10. Really appreciate it. Goes towards keeping the lights on here. The dinosaur suits were used in if dinosaur suits were used in Kong 76, directors, what makes you qualified to play a dinosaur? Candidate. Sometimes I super glue my thumbs to my nipples.
Oh my gosh. So
Oh God.
So how do you get your hands out? Do you let that dry out and then like
No, don't use super. You make sure it's the Gorilla Glue. Plug it, tie and plug it. No,
I hope you have hairless nipples. Just saying.
Oh God, no. It's like I remember Robin Williams once said when he was making a movie that he had to get like waxed out because he's one of the hairiest men in the world.
Mrs. Doubtfire, right?
Yeah, and he said I felt so bad for the person waxing me because he probably had to use like super glue where it's like nobody knows the trouble I see. Oh God, that was the greatest super chat I've ever gotten. Thank you, Super Michael 98 guys. Go subscribe to him. Really appreciate that, man. That goes to a good cause. Thank you so much. But yeah, what were we even talking about? Because I just broke at the T-Rex the Nipple Rex. That sounds like a band, Nipple Rex.
Well,
somebody make that a death metal band.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World, a Toronto movie.
Yes, I will be at the screening on this guy's channel.
9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock?
Yup. And we got a stacked lineup. We got Big Jack. We got Alexander the Swell. We got Titan Goji, the Real Talk podcast, the Review Roulette podcast. My buddy voice actor Matthew Farden, really talented man, very funny man.
I'm gonna look up his resume. Hold up. I'm gonna look up this guy's resume.
MatthewFarden.com.
Matthew, how do you spell his last name?
Farden. Anyway, he's out in Los Angeles. He was my roommate for a couple of years. We went to college together. Really funny guy. So
is he on Behind the Voice Actor?
No. He does small potatoes. He's up and coming, and he did land some big projects, which I'm not allowed to talk about because NDA. But he's on the rise, and he's really funny. If you've been to our other Nerd Cage live streams, In fact, he's the voice of Nerd Cage Live. He's the one that does that Joker intro. That's him.
Nice. Actually, it's funny because one person I've been talking to a lot on Twitch, because I am on Twitch occasionally, is voice actor Kyle Hebert, who does a lot of anime stuff. He was the guy. He's mostly famous for being the guy going next time on Dragon Ball Z. That guy. So he's on Twitch occasionally. He was on tonight, so I got to talk to him a little bit. Really cool dude. I'm just gonna see if he. Oh, you know what? I think he is on Behind the Voice Actor. He is. There's nothing. I mean, all it says is he's on Astro Boy. He was on the Astro Boy cartoon.
Yes. Yep.
But yeah, that's usually where I check voice actors, is Behind the Voice Actor.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad he's on there. So that means he's growing. And another thing too, for everybody in the United States, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Obviously, we're not going to be playing the movie on the stream. You're going to have to play it yourself. It's available on Netflix, but my 4K copy arrives tomorrow. I'm going to be watching I'm for the first time watching it in 4K. But for everyone in the United States, it's available on Netflix. Jack, is
I'd have to check Netflix Canada for that. I don't have it on.
If you have a way to watch Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, we will all start at the same time. We'll do a slow countdown. We'll all hit play at the same time.
Yeah, because I'll have to check my Netflix, because I have Netflix and Amazon Prime. I don't have Disney Plus. I don't have HBO Max. I will look into that, because I don't think we get HBO Max here in Canada, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just a United States thing, but but last I knew, Scott Pilgrim was available like worldwide on Netflix, but I know it's fact it's the United States. If you own the copy, great. I mean, I feel it's a movie that everybody should own. It's that if you want to talk about nerd culture, video game culture, like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is like the definitive like nerd movie. I feel
it is, and it's also the definitive Canadian nerd movie. So
yo, Jack, check this out.
Yeah, hang on a sec. Scott.
Look at there's dust on it.
Pilgrim, if it's on here. I'm not seeing it on Netflix Canada. I may not have it. That's weird.
Jack, worst case scenario, when my copy comes in, I can send you my digital code, okay?
Yeah, I can do that. Or let me check Amazon, because I do have an Amazon thing. Which, guys, I don't know if you guys are interested, but we do have an Amazon wish list.
Yeah, but yeah, Jack, I'll give you the digital code if need be, for the stream, need be.
Yeah, let me just check here. Scott Pilgrim. I think it might be on. Oh, it's on Prime Video.
Oh, you're okay. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. I believe I can. Oh, can I play? I can
okay, good. I just want to make sure because I know you're in another country. Even though we only live a couple hours away from each other, we're in separate countries.
Yeah, I think. Do I still have? I have to sign in, but I do believe I have Prime. Yeah, I do have Prime.
Okay, cool. Hey, you got another super chat. We got another super chat from Ike Studios.
Oh shit! Another super chat from Ike Studios. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Hey Jack, I sent you a package back in June. I don't know what happened to it. Just be on the lookout just in case. I will keep an eye on that. I know currently all of our mailing still goes to our old address, and we won't really give away our new address just yet because of just privacy reasons. But it'll probably be sent there, and I will have it shipped from my parents' place. So awesome.
Jack, so I saw two movies, one last week and one over the weekend. Can I talk about them real quick?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We're talk about movies.
So last week, I took my mother, and this is an independent film. I don't know if it's not really playing like worldwide. It's playing in select theaters, but I took my mother to see this movie called Pig with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, that Pig movie.
It was phenomenal. This is the 5th best movie I've seen all year. Listen, I always loved Nicolas Cage. I, in my heart of hearts, believe Nicolas Cage is a phenomenal actor. I know the last 10 years haven't been good to Nicolas Cage. I know he's a meme, but this is Nicolas Cage's best acting since Lord of War. I have a
question about the movie. Is it like Tusk, where it's like super fucked up? Like, does Nicolas Cage like fuck a pig or something?
No. So what it is Nicolas Cage is a truffle farmer. He lives out in the middle of nowhere in the woods, and his pig gets kidnapped. So he goes on a mission to look for his pig.
Don't you mean pig-napped?
Yes.
Pig. He gets they put the pig in a blanket.
Yeah. It's really good, but trust me, I know the premise sounds silly, but the movie's actually really, really good. It's a lot of drama. There's a lot more to Nicolas Cage's character, which I will not get into because I don't want to ruin the movie.
They should call it. They should call it. They should call it John Wick Saves Babe.
It is. It's kind of got a little bit of John Wick in there.
It's John Wick Saves Babe. Pig in the City.
Yeah, no, it's actually real, Jack. I think you will generally like it. And then another movie I just saw on Saturday night.
Before you, one thing about Pig I want to say.
Yes.
I doubt it'll happen, but I'll probably watch it and go in and think if Nicolas Cage doesn't, when he saves the pig, go, that'll do, pig. That'll do. If he doesn't do that, I'm going to be like, worst movie ever.
Listen, honest to God, Jack, I think this movie is worthy of an Oscar. I think it's Nicolas Cage's best performance in decades.
An Academy Award-winning film, Pig.
I'm telling you, just trust me on this. It's actually a really good film. Now, last night, I have to defend this movie because it's getting trashed everywhere.
Snake Eyes?
Yes. I loved it.
I will say this. I've kind of had my eye on it because, I'm a casual G.I. Joe guy.
Same here. I loved the cartoon as a kid and those PSAs.
I never watched, the cartoon was past my time. Didn't really grow up with G.I. Joe. What I remember I think what really got me into G.I. Joe was it's something that me and Indie Fan and Bradley want to talk about, is that before the Fine Brothers were how they are now, which are just egotistical buttholes, in my opinion, they used to do, they used to own a website called ravensteak.com. And back in the early days of the internet, like this is 2006, this is when YouTube wasn't so totally 100% the thing to do yet. They did a micro series called G.I. Joe, The Epic Saga. And what it was is it was a 3-hour movie altogether, 3 hours. But it's just them using their G.I. Joe action figures, no stop motion. It's just them with their G.I. Joes, and they're doing the voices and all and they have like every G.I. Joe and Cobra figure imaginable. But they come across Cobra, the Cobra guys. They come across the Fellowship of the Ring. They come across all these different. They're all toys. It's kind of like, I don't know if you remember their Lost parodies they used to do, like Lost. This Lost was sort of after that. Like G.I. Joe, The Epic Saga was their prototype.
Yeah.
The problem is that it's widely unavailable. I don't think you can even find it anymore because not only did they get sued by Hasbro and had a cease and desist by Hasbro back then. This is before fair use was sort of the thing in the internet.
Yeah.
But also, the Fine Brothers have tried to sweep it under the rug. Like anybody who tries to post it now, it's not Hasbro. It's the Fine Brothers putting a copyright strike because they don't want people to know they made this movie because it is edgy, it is raunchy. Some of the humor, if the public found out about this movie, they would get canceled immediately because there is a lot of jokes in here that are so 2000 whatever that, oh, good Lord, they would not get away with this. They would not get away with this now. They do in the second arc a whole spoof of Schindler's List. Schindler's List is one of those movies you got to be super careful making fun of.
Yeah. It's not a laughing matter.
It's no laughing matter at all. And and look, there's parts I do laugh at. It kind of inspired me to do these sort of fan fiction-y stories, but that was my first exposure to G.I. Joe.
That was Spielberg's first Oscar win, wasn't it?
That was. I think it was because I think he was nominated for Jaws. He just never got it.
Yeah, he didn't win, yeah. He was nominated many times, but never won prior to Schindler's List.
Yeah, so it's crazy, but that was my first exposure to G.I. Joe was that Fine Brothers movie. Then I actually saw The Rise of Cobra at a shoebox movie theater up in a mountain, and I was like 10 minutes late because I was so fascinated with the theater because this theater was also kind of a museum. It was actually pretty rad. It was out in the middle of nowhere. And I got in 10 minutes and I see like the Joe's Wreck and shit. And I'm already lost. I already don't understand it. I'm like, this is not G.I. Joe outside of Baroness and Snake Eyes. I don't know. Okay, I'll admit, Dennis Quaid was a good General Hawk.
Yeah.
Because I was more of a Captain Falcon guy. I like Captain Falcon. But that's funny how his name's Captain Falcon, no relation to the video game. Isn't that funny? But I was more of a Falcon guy because of the epic saga. They made him the title character. But General Hawk, I was like, okay, I know who General Hawk is. Very disappointed with the movie. No Dr. Mindbender, no Serpentor, no, like nothing. It didn't feel anything like G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
But I really loved Retaliation.
Yes, that one was much better than the first one. You got
I love that it was
my man Bruce Willis.
That was a G.I. Joe movie, and it had, and like Cobra looked amazing, like Commander. I love how they used what's his name? Zartan. I love how they used Zartan. I wish Destro was in it because I do like Destro. I wish the Baroness was in it. Like Cobra Commander was the highlight because I'm like, this is great. And there's some current political jokes the one current political joke I really liked in that movie is when they have all the missiles out and the president, played by Jonathan Pryce, who's like, every one of your countries will get 10 missiles.
And then
11
Indian
for North
president.
Korea, just to be safe. And then you have the North Korean guy like, what?
No, not just that, Jack. The Indian president was the Oompa Loompa from the Johnny Depp.
Oh my God! Yeah. I forgot about that! That's hilarious!
I know, I laughed too.
Augustus Gloop.
And then the RZA from the Wu-Tang was in it too.
The only thing it was missing is that when they brought in the old Joes, they missed one golden opportunity. Yeah. Sergeant Slaughter! Where is Sergeant Slaughter? Come on! You've done now. I guarantee he's not in Snake Eyes. You've done 3 G.I. Joe movies.
Snake Eyes. Listen, Snake Eyes takes place in Japan for the whole movie.
I know, but you have 3 G.I. Joe movies, and not one of them features Sergeant Slaughter. What the fuck?
But yeah, I think Snake Eyes is really getting unfairly ripped apart. I thought first and foremost, I saw it in 4DX. It was my first time. I've never seen a 4DX movie. I loved it. Have you done 4DX?
The first time I did that was Aquaman. And
oh wow! See, we just got 4DX in Syracuse, so you live in the bigger market, obviously.
Well, we had the D-Box, which are like the movable chairs, but our movie was D-Box. It was 3D, and it was funny because I saw it with my dad, and beforehand we did get a little stoned prior, so it made the movie so much more fun. No, I came out of Aquaman like, this is like the Lord of the Rings equivalent to SpongeBob. This is a Lord of the Rings SpongeBob movie. The only thing I wish it included was Ocean Man from the SpongeBob movie. Ocean Man. Like, come on. What the?
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was my first 4DX ever, and man, it was bumping out. And we were all laughing in the theater. So, but I think that just added to the experience. So yeah, I thought it was generally good. Here's what I think people are trashing the movie. This is just my humble opinion, and I gotta be careful how I say this, but I feel comfortable telling you because your channel is awesome. I don't think America is ready for like full-blown Asian-led movies.
That, and it's also, because, the current political environment, but,
I mean, the whole movie was in Japan the whole time. It's basically a American-Japanese movie, if that makes any sense. That's
because, I think people were more attached to Retaliation because that was more of an American movie.
Yeah.
And shit, but, yeah, I get that. I mean, it's the same reason. I don't think even the Wolverine did well because of it being more centered in Japan.
I loved it though because it really was action packed, and it was predictable. But here's the thing: the movie, you're not going into GI Joe for an Oscar worthy film. You're going for
entertainment. Going in there for essentially a feature length $200 million toy commercial.
88 actually was $88 million, but it was.
That's actually pretty decent. That's actually pretty look for the budget they had. That's actually not bad.
Yeah, like I said, it was an action-packed movie, and there's a lot of stabbings. I mean, there was no blood, but there was a lot of stabbings and impalings and a lot of samurai sword battles, and it had it was a revenge story. It was a heist story. It had elements of 36 chambers. There was samurai sword training.
Yeah.
And dude, Henry Golding, I love that dude.
Is the
Henry
movie
Golding's the man.
Is the movie consistent with the last two, or is it another reboot?
No. It's still part of the G.I. Joe universe. This is a prequel to the first movie. It's
to Rise of Cobra. Okay, yeah, because that's what I was wondering. Because
Cobra is spoiler alert. Cobra plays a big role in the movie, and basically, Snake Eyes gets caught between the Asian family he was staying with, and of course Cobra. And yeah, it was awesome. And of course, most of the G.I. Joe elements came towards the very end. But
I want to see the movie.
Reboot. It's a prequel. It's a legit.
I want to see the movie, but I hope one of the people in Cobra go Cobra.
It's like I said, it's not bad. I'm shocked how much it's getting trashed because it was way better than Black Widow. Way better than Black Widow.
I'll say this. I think it's also a matter of just we're entering a new decade of filmmaking, and I think the whole nostalgia sells is starting to die off. Like it dominated the last 5 years or so of Hollywood. But you know what I think here's what I think the next big thing is going to go around in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. It's going to be no more reboots, no more remakes. If we're going to do franchises, they're going to be consistency, continuity, and sequels. So because a lot of people are relying on not just the Flash movie, which I really want to see that. Because just for Michael Keaton, only because this is the closest we're ever going to get to Tim Burton's Batman 3, and I'm all for it, right? And actually, Michael Keaton just signed on to be Batman in the Batgirl movie. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I saw an article. He signed on to do the Batgirl movie. But
because the rumor was that he was signed on for like 5 or 6 DC movies moving forward.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, good. He was the best Batman ever. Like, look, I like Christian Bale. That's another thing I want to talk about. I saw an article today that Warner Brothers did plan for the Dark Knight trilogy to be in continuity with Man of Steel.
Yeah, but Christopher Nolan didn't want to.
But Snyder had different ideas. Honestly, Zack could have done
Christopher Nolan didn't want it either.
Well, that's the thing. I think Nolan was very reserved. Snyder was very reserved. I think personally, to save them trouble and get people more invested in that DCEU, that would have been the smart move.
Yeah, but it
was too soon for a reboot of Batman, I think.
Well, not just that, but the character was done, basically.
I mean, that's the thing. Even the third movie, they left it open for a sequel with, like, John Blake essentially becoming Nightwing, I think. And Bruce is retired. How cool would it have been if in Batman v Superman, that whole scene where Metropolis and Gotham are getting trashed, that it was his Bruce who only comes back because his city is getting fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sorry, Jack. I thought Ben Affleck was miles better than Christian Bale.
That's the thing. I think he was good. Nothing against the fates of time. Nothing against Ben Affleck. But I think Warner Brothers would have had a much stronger invested audience.
Yeah.
And if they had included Bale, because it would have saved them trouble. It would have saved them having to redo Batman again. That's the only thing. It's like, I think that's why Warner Brothers is bringing back Keaton. Maybe it's because they're just like, we're so sick of redoing Batman over and over and over again.
But they keep doing it.
They keep doing the dead parents. They keep doing the origins. It's like, no, let's just go back to when Batman was, what's the word? Good. And what people liked about it. And we didn't have Christian parents bitch about the McDonald's Happy Meal toys, forcing us to make a kid movie directed by Joel Schumacher. And again, nothing against Schumacher. I loved his Batman movies.
Oh, God.
But they're not canon anymore. They've established the Schumacher movies are in their own separate universe. The Schumacherverse.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Hell, it actually gives us an opportunity. Maybe we can go back to that universe. Maybe we can see Chris O'Donnell as Batman and Damian Wayne in that timeline. That would be cool. Do that.
Yo, I'm telling you, Jack, if you need to check out the show Titans, man, because I love that version of
You know what? Funny enough, I've seen them film that movie around here, or film the show around here, because Titans is shot in Toronto.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like I remember I was walking down Nathan Phillips Square just for shits and giggles, and I saw a bunch of trashed Gotham PD cars and shit, like Gotham PD cars trashed. I'm like, oh, they must be filming Titans here. I'm like, okay. And then I find out Casa Loma, which is down the road from me, kind of, like take a couple subways up, that's Wayne Manor.
Yeah. So yo, SSJ4 Jason says, give us a hard R Red Hood movie. I'll say this: season 3 of Titans is gonna be about Red Hood, and Titans is definitely a hard R. Okay, for those who don't know,
that's where the
there's
term
killing, there's
out.
There's nudity, there's boobs, there's ass.
Wait, do we see Starfire's tatas?
No.
Shit.
But Dove, you see her ass. I'll say that. You see Dove's ass.
Does Tara ever show up in this show?
Tara.
Oh my God, you don't know who Tara is.
Oh, no. Yes. She was in season 2.
How was she portrayed? Because I haven't seen anything of her in the show.
Well, it wasn't. Excuse me. It was okay. Scratch that. Never mind. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Tara.
No, because the thing is,
I get him confused. It wasn't
in
Tara.
The original cartoon. In the original Titans cartoon that I grew up with, none of that Teen Titans Go bullshit.
Yeah.
Tara was my favorite character. She was like the sixth ranger of the team. I'm like,
no. Deathstroke's daughter does show up though.
Okay, yeah, because I loved Tara. She was a cool fucking character.
Yeah, if you love the Titans TV show, or the cartoon, you'll love the TV show because there's a lot of
Yeah, but the thing is too with DC, you gotta remember, Jason, is that I love DC. I like it.
I know.
But the reason I go see anything with DC is unless Batman is in it.
Yeah, but Titans is involved. It takes place in Gotham City, and Batman's in season 2.
Yeah, I know, and he's played by Lord Friendzone from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I know.
You know, so
but it is heavily Batman based.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, but that's my biggest problem with DC TV shows. There's little to no Batman in the costume, and what I found out was this is interesting.
Yeah, but it's Robin's show.
I know, but I found out something. You want to know why we've never gotten a full live-action Batman television series with him in the costume since the 60s TV show? Because I read a rumor that when Batman, the Burton movies came out, Warner Brothers made a bonding contract with Bob Kane and his estate and everything. And they said, unless it's a cartoon, Batman cannot be in the costume in a live action television series because Batman is what makes us the most money at the box office.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So
that makes sense.
That's why he's never shown up fully in any live action shows and why they have to feature Robin and Batgirl. You can never have him in the costume. And it's something that Joel Schumacher said in the documentary. He said he had met the guy who distributed Elvis, and that when Elvis died, he could take the suit around and it would make money. Batman is like Elvis. It's the suit that makes money. And Warner Brothers, that is a smart move, but people are craving. I am craving for a Batman-oriented TV series, but in the vein of Criminal Minds, CSI Los Angeles, or CSI Miami, but it has Batman and Robin doing detective work, murder mysteries. And I think the reason Warner Brothers made that contract was not only for the movie rights to be stronger, but also because at the time, all that was there was the 60s show. And at that time, people hated it, but now people love it. I love the 60s Batman. And that's the thing. You only see him fully in his own shows in costume if it's a cartoon. Hence the animated series and the Brave and the Bold and all these other cartoons that I can't keep track anymore because there's too fucking many.
Yeah.
So
and now on HBO Max they're bringing back the animated series, and it's going to be called Batman. The
Legends Continue or something.
It's Bruce Timm, and it's the same.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. So it's one of those things where it's even from what I heard when Gotham did their finale, they had to really push Warner Brothers to say, we want to include Batman in the costume. And I think even Warner Brothers said, you have to give us a fine for that.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I hated Gotham, but that last episode was good.
Okay, you know what? Like, there's parts of Gotham I did like. I did like some of the Joker stuff, honestly.
Seasons were good, and then it got stupid real quick.
Okay, the Joker stuff was good. And the last episode, I agree, was good. I liked everything with Batman, like him in the shadows. Like, I really liked that one shot of sort of the moonlight beaming on the smoke, and all you see is him as a shadow. I'm like, that's great. Then I see the costume, I'm like, it looks like an action figure.
Yeah, no,
it looks like a Kenner toy.
A lot of the designs were head scratchers, but the show started off good and then just got dumb real quick, and I quit. And then I just watched the finale just to see how it wrapped up.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, I think it's all like, I'm not one of those people who are like, I'm so sick of Batman. Batman's everywhere. No. I just want a good, consistent Batman series of movies where they don't have to always recast the actor because the actor got sick of it. It's like, that's why they're struggling on like Marvel, because Robert Downey Jr. just likes playing that role and they pay him a lot of money. You know, like, we want something like that with Batman. In fact, again, if Affleck decides to do more with this shit, God damn it, I want Death in the Family adapted into a series or a movie. And I'm not talking about the faceless Joker death. I want the Jason Todd Robin death in the Family movie with Ben Affleck, Jared Leto, Margot Robbie, and fuck it, get somebody to be Robin. And you know what I mean? I know they've established it's Dick Grayson.
Well, yeah, but they never actually said it in movies.
I want it to be Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Like, and then, because think about it, if they do that, then maybe we can get a Red Hood movie.
Yeah.
You know, it rings money, but they won't do it. Like, and the thing is,
Titans season 3 is going to be our first live action Red Hood.
Yeah, but it's like, I have seen Killing Joke, Dark Knight Returns, Long Halloween, and all these some of my favorite Batman comics finally adapted. Dark Knight Rises is literally a mix of The Dark Knight Returns and Nightfall. You know, and the Long Halloween. Nothing has been fully adapted with Death in the Family. I have yet to see in live action properly the Joker beating the shit out of Robin, a child, with a crowbar, and Batman comes in and lifts him out. I want that in a movie, and I think it's because they think it's too dark.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well, think about this, though. You just answered the question. Like, yeah, it's too dark. If they're going to do that, it's got to be rated R. Rated R means they're not going to make the kind of box office, return.
No, you know what I noticed? They have Scarface rules. They say, we'll do all this crazy shit, but no kids. I told you no kids. Maybe they
and of course, Batman can't go down on Catwoman.
No. Maybe it's just they don't want to show a child getting brutally murdered.
Yeah.
But come on, grow some balls and show the kid getting domestically abused, for fuck's sakes. You know?
Even if the camera like pans away.
Yeah, like, you at least show some blood spattering. Like, I don't know if you know Bat in the Sun Productions. Those guys who make like those superpower beatdown videos with Jason David Frank and the Scorpion shit. Like, those guys are cool.
Yeah, I know the Scorpion.
Back in the early days before they were popular, they did a Batman fan trailer called Batman Legends. And they showed a proper way to do that Death in the Family story where you show the Joker beating him off screen, and then you see on the Robin symbol a little splatter of blood, cut to Batman lifting Jason out of the rubble. That's a good way of doing it. But for some reason, they won't do it. Fuck. You know what would be a great adaptation? DC number 27, the original comic. Make that a movie. Make DC number 27. Make all that a movie. Get that costume. I want to see the DC 27 costume. Because I actually do like that original suit that Bob Kane and Bill Finger created. We got another super chat from Super Michael 98. Thank you so much. At least Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill have been pretty consistent. Also, what are your thoughts on Smallville or Superman and Lois? I never watched Smallville. I like the theme song. I've seen the last episode. I've seen the episode with Christopher Reeve, but that's about it. And you know what? I haven't seen Superman and Lois. I've heard
It's on my list. I'm going to watch it because Mark on Nerdcade said it was good. So if he says it's good,
but the thing is it good? Is it like Richard Donner good? Is it Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman good? Or is it like? Because you know what? I used to watch.
This is the best. Okay, Mark's exact words is he says this is the best modern day Superman in our world, is what he said.
Okay,
and,
maybe I'll give it a watch.
And Jack, this has nothing to do with the Arrowverse. Yes, it's the same actor and actress from the Arrowverse, but this is a completely separate version. It's not anything to do with the Arrowverse.
Yeah, like I mean, I grew up kind of watching Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman. I don't know what the
Terry Hatcher.
Yeah, is that show well received, Lois and Clark? Really?
Well, it was a bad show. It's goofy, but Terry
I used to watch that, and actually, it's funny because I run a Universal Studios Florida Facebook group that has a lot of cast members and people who work at the park with the old rides. And one of the biggest shows shot at the Florida park, because they don't do filming anymore there. It's more just a theme park, but they used to have it as a working studio. One of the biggest shows shot there was Superboy. They actually used to shoot a lot of that at Universal Florida, Superboy. So I've watched episodes. I'm like, oh, that's kind of nifty. But yeah, I like my Donner Superman. You know what? I even like Superman Returns. I don't know why people hate on that movie.
I didn't like it.
and it's also because you gotta remember, that was actually my first Superman movie, not only in the theater, but one of my first Superman movies. I didn't get into Superman really until that movie came out. I didn't watch.
I'll say this: it's better than Superman 3 and 4.
Oh God! Okay, if you want me to go on a tirade, I like the first two. I hate Superman 3.
Have you seen the Donner cut of Superman 2?
Yes, I have. I love it.
I
like both versions.
Yeah, I like both versions too.
You know that kid who jumps out off Niagara Falls?
Yeah.
That's a friend of mine.
Wow.
That kid's cool. Because you know what? Because he's Canadian. He's Ontario-based. Mm-hmm. And what's really cool is, you may not know this, but do you remember the Care Bears movies? Like the original Care Bears movies?
I remember.
He was the voice of Nicholas in the first one. Like the kid who had the book. And he's also the voice of Darkheart in the second movie. That was the kid from Superman 2 who almost killed himself.
Okay.
Because a lot of those guys, they also went on to do voice acting work. So, we got another super chat. Thank you so much, Super Michael. What hurts me is almost everyone who worked on Super. Yeah,
Gene Hackman's the last one.
Really, he's the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Marvel Kidder died a few years ago. I was in Dick
my rant on Superman 3. Piece of shit movie. Was not funny. Wasn't funny.
I agree. I think Superman 3 is the worst one, because at least Superman 4.
I put the hatred on part. No, I put the hatred in the same category. Jaws 3D. And both came out in 1983. Fucking terrible. I'm sorry, and maybe it's because I haven't seen enough movies or TV shows or skits with the guy. Richard Pryor isn't funny. I never found him funny.
All right.
I've tried watching a stand-up. He's not funny.
To each their own. Same
thing. Same thing with Eddie Murphy. I don't think he's really that funny. I don't think. Okay, my top two favorite black comedians. Hold on.
Have you watched Eddie Murphy Raw?
The only Eddie Murphy movie I liked was Bowfinger.
Man, really?
Bowfinger's awesome.
That's not his best movie, though.
But at least he's kind of funny, and he goes with the tone of the movie.
Listen, dude.
Nutty Professor, I kind of like. I like Nutty Professor.
Coming to America.
I like Nutty Professor, and I like Shrek.
I'm telling you, listen, Eddie Murphy Raw is a fantastic stand-up set.
It's just because my top two favorite black comedians of all time, I think these guys are funny. Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock and Kevin Hart. Those three are fucking hilarious.
Definitely Dave Chappelle. But how could you wait? You like Dave Chappelle, but you don't like Eddie Murphy?
Well, I watched the Chappelle Show all the time as a teen, and I thought it was the funniest shit. That freaking Godzilla skin is one of the funniest goddamn things I've ever seen. He's beating the shit out of Godzilla.
Brown snake.
Yeah, no, he's beating the shit out of Godzilla. He's like, I'm from the streets, bitch. And also, you know what? The Wayans brothers. They're the first 2 Scary Movie films. Those are comic gold. Those are so goddamn funny. The sequel, the later ones suck. They're horrible. Even 3. And people defend 3, and I'm like, no, that's when it sucked. You know? No, because you know who was the best character in Scary Movie outside of Cindy? Was fucking Shorty. Shorty was the... I'll say this too about the first 2 Scary Movies. Those are the better live-action Scooby-Doo movies. They're Scooby-Doo movies. Think about it. They're just the Scooby-Doo gang.
But I think great Wayans Brothers movie though. White Chicks.
That's one I haven't seen yet, but I have heard good things about it.
Jack, one of these nights we're going to have a Zoom call.
I haven't seen. You want to know what's one of the
No. We'll have a Zoom call. We'll watch it together on a Zoom call, dude. I love that movie.
You want to know one comedy that's one of the greatest comedies of all time, and I've never seen it? Blazing Saddles.
What?
I have seen Spaceballs. I have seen Men in Tights. I've seen Young Frankenstein. I haven't seen Blazing Saddles.
Jack, with your movie resume, the movies you talk about, and you
the thing is with comedy, you know what? Comedy is like horror to me because I'm very reserved about what I watch in terms of comedy and what I watch in terms of horror.
Fair enough.
The thing is with horror, I'm sick of the jump scares. I'm sick of the cliches. I like the old school stuff.
Can I recommend a horror movie? I think I've done this before.
Depends on when it came out.
It came out in 2018. It spooked me, and there's no jump scares or anything like that. It's a slow burn. Watch Hereditary.
I'll give it a shot. Like, here's the thing. The last good horror movie, I think, in the last 20 years, in the 2000s, like, the best horror movie of this century for me has been The Descent. That scared the fuck out of me. That scared the fuck out of me. Like, I watched it late night on TV and I didn't sleep. It was horrifying. I'm
just laughing. Big Jack Nation. Noel Anderson's saying like.
Yeah, it's on my to-do list. Like, yeah.
Be right back. I'm gonna grab some water. Be right back.
Yeah, it's Blazing Saddles is one of those movies I just never. There's a couple of them. And it's gonna shock freaking Jay because there's some comedies like look. I tried watching Ghostbusters. I like okay. I want to talk about Ghostbusters. I have seen the first one.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
You're right. Now, I watched it on TV. I tried watching it. I tried laughing. I thought it was a well-made movie. The special effects are fantastic. The theme song kicks ass. The design is great. Kind of dry humor for me. I didn't find it really funny. It was like, it was trying to be this comedy without the humor. And that was, like, it was fine. Haven't seen the second one. Didn't watch the cartoon. In fact, you know what? I won't see that piece of shit, what I call Queef Busters. I don't even call it Ghostbusters. I call it Queef Busters.
I didn't bother with it either. I'm not going to go far.
It's fucking terrible. It looks like shit.
It is. There's no need to watch it.
Right? Like, it's bad. But I do want to see Answer the Call. That actually looks pretty good. And the thing is,
I'm going in with the lowest of expectations.
Look, the best thing to come out of Ghostbusters for me that I love is the Universal Studios show that they used to have in Florida. Yes. That was amazing. That is the best thing Ghostbusters for me.
And the cartoon was good too. The real Ghostbusters was a good cartoon. I mean, I'm a 90s kid. It was,
Well, again, it was past my time too. Like,
dude, we're only 5 years, 5 or 6 years apart. Okay.
Yeah, so just going back to comedies, I haven't really seen fully.
Okay.
Because again, I'm very reserved. Never watched Wayne's World.
Oh God! Don't listen to me. You can't say that to me, a metalhead. Okay.
Okay, look, I love Mike Myers. I love the Austin Powers trilogy. That to me is peak Mike Myers. I've tried seeing bits of Wayne's World. There are parts it's funny, but then it's dry. It's very dry.
Oh, stop it!
I'm sorry. I'm gonna try it. Like, again, I'm very reserved with comedy. I'm trying to think of some others I've never seen.
Okay, hold on. What about Dumb and Dumber?
I can't stomach myself to watch it because it looks dumb. It looks brain dead.
Okay, 40-Year-Old Virgin.
That one I've been thinking about watching.
My God, yeah.
I'm so far behind with like
Super bad. What about Super bad? That was high school
movie.
For me.
It slipped past me. You know, I'll be right back. I need a drink. You keep talking.
Okay. I'll see what's up with the chat.
I'm gonna give you center attention. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. Hi everybody. I'm Jay St. G of Nerd Cage Live. Please sub me up. Anywho, let's see. Yes, SSJ4 extreme boast that Ghostbusters is criminally underrated. Absolutely. The video game. You know what? I didn't know. I understand. I did not play the video game. I heard it was good because it's like the closest we got to a third movie of Ghostbusters with the original cast. Yes, Valerie, watch Wayne's World. I love Wayne's World. Wayne's World, party time, excellent. I love that. Love that shit. Of course. And if you're a Queen fan, yes, Bohemian Rhapsody. Yes, Dr. Luigi, watch This Is the End. I love This Is the End. I'm a sucker for Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen is so goddamn funny. Anything he's in, I watch. Brian Kingsley, thoughts on Turning Red trailer. He said that earlier. I did not. So, Jack, well, real quick, what's Turning Red? I have not seen the trailer. He said it's
I don't know what that is, Turning Red. I wanted to say this. Super Michael, another super chat. Thank you so much. Babe, you're not getting any more money from this guy for hating Eddie Murphy. Oh man. No, it's just it's not that I hate him. It's that I think he's okay. Like, he's a nice guy. I just don't find him that funny.
He's one of the funny. Oh, he's funny beyond words.
Look, I mean, who's the guy? Okay, who was the guy who created Bebe's Kids? Who was the comedian who passed away? Who invented Bebe's Kids? It's some famous comedian. I can't remember who it is. Like Robin Harris, I think.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, Robin Harris. He was a comedian back then, and he came up with this skit. It's like Bebe's Kids, and then they made a cartoon movie about it. That was a little bit more. He was a little bit more funny than Eddie Murphy. I'm sorry, Robin Harris was a bit more funny. But it's one of those things where it's just, there's something about certain comedies that I should like, that I like them, but I didn't find them funny. Like, there's some jokes I'm like, okay, but like comedy is very very reserved. Like, my kind of comedy is, depending on what it is, it's either really raunchy dark humor, or it's pure violent slapstick cartoons, like the Jackass movies. I'm so looking forward to Jackass
4 ever. I can't wait.
What a great title for a fourth movie, right?
Yep.
The thing is, too, it's funny, with the reason I'm looking forward to this is because Jackass, I saw the whole trilogy every time it came out in theaters. Like, as a kid, I saw them. And why? It was something me and my dad did. It was a father-son thing to do. Father-son night in September. When a Jackass movie came out, we went go see it. So I saw the first one in theaters. We came out almost hyperventilating without air because the toy car bit was one of the funniest goddamn things I've seen. No,
makes my butthole cringe.
What makes it funny is not the stunt. It's the reaction from the nurse when she gets the scan. She's just like, that was one of the funniest goddamn things I've ever seen in the cinema. Number 2, I also go through the trilogy. Number 2, that's when the whole group was on a fuckload of drugs. They were doing coke, meth. They were doing everything, and you could tell in their faces every one of them was on drugs. Like, because some of the skits that they did were like, here's the thing with Jackass 2 is that there are times I think the skits go way too far. The one I'm most...
like the horse semen.
Okay, well, no, the one that gets me...
I almost threw up, honestly.
Okay, the part that gets me is in number 3, The Apple of My Ass with Preston and the pig. That was borderline illegal. That was fucked. I could not stomach that. But it was funny when they took the apple and they threw it in Wee Man's balls. I'm like, okay, that made it funny.
In the third one, the bungee jump with Wee Man on the bridge.
Oh my god. No, I will never forget this. In seeing it in 3D, by the way. The Cocktail Supreme, I never thought in a million years I would be able to see 3D poop. It was 3D poop!
Did you watch Bad Grandpa?
Oh god, that was another one me and Dad did. Okay, the vending machine. That Jesus Christ, I howled. The fact I got nominated for an Oscar for best makeup.
I just love the when he's in the restaurant and he craps on the wall on accident.
I like Brian's comment, the Beehive limo. That's a good one. I do like that skit. I really like the Beehive tuffle ball where they like put the beehive on the ball with the string they have to tap to each other. Mm-hmm. That was funny. And like, as a guy who hates bees, I was terrified and laughing at the same time. Yeah, like, okay. But I am looking forward to the fourth one. I actually used to even watch reruns of the old Jackass show and Viva La Bam because we used to have an on-demand service that let us watch it for free.
Yeah.
This was in the old
Bam Margera, though. I mean, I heard he's not well, so.
Well, I mean, he hasn't been well since Ryan died. You know, like that fucked him up. That really fucked him up, and I feel bad. You know, I think I'll say this: my two favorite episodes of Viva La Bam are the one where they convert his entire parents' house into a skateboard arena. Like that was funny, and the one where it's like, "Don't feed Fat Phil." That's fucked. Like that's so bad. That's mean. Oh god, but man, I love those movies. So I am definitely. I've even seen like the supplementary material movies. Like those are great. Like my favorite Jackass skit of all time is in the second movie, and it's not even in the movie. It's called Beauty and the Beast, and it's where Preston is in a King Kong suit, and Wee Man is Fay Ray. They're on a hill on top of a porta potty. And the crew are flying RC planes at them, and Preston has to jump off the porta potty. And it was and I don't know why it never made into the cut, but it was because it's funny because like I thought it was hilarious, but I thought as a technical way of shooting a kaiju movie, if you did that, but you added an actual Empire State Building model, you added a guy in a suit, and the model planes, you could technically pull that off. You could technically make that work, but obviously they didn't. But oh man, like
it's creative. I'll give them that.
So I'm looking forward to 4. I know it's probably not going to be as good, but look, when you have one of the guys strapped to an electric chair and you think he's going to get shocked, and it turns out they're feeding him to a fucking bear.
Okay, that I did not laugh at because I had a experience with a bear once, and
really.
I'm petrified of bears, and I did not find that funny because
really, I didn't know that. Like, look, I've never had a bad experience with a wild animal. Like, look, I went to Cancun, Mexico, and I would be in the marketplace, and I would feel something fuzzy rubbing on my leg, and I look down, and there's a white tiger cub nudging on my leg, and I'm like, "Where's fucking mom?" And then it turns out he was. Oh, this is a great story. Turns out the guy who had him on a leash was actually taking him out to stretch his legs because they have a zoo down there. But it was, and they take it out, and I got to hang out with a white tiger cub for like an hour, and I got to hold the damn thing. It was fucking adorable.
That's awesome.
Right? And I made sure, because I knew before I ever had a close encounter with this animal, I looked at the owner straight in the face and I said, "This isn't some tourist shit. You're not just like in the black market on the shit." And he said, no. He had the papers. He had everything. I'm like, okay, it's fine, right? Because that is my one rule with wild animals. I will not temper with them unless they are actually licensed to have that animal. If they're one of those things like Tiger King and shit, fuck that.
Yeah, no, I see. So I lived in Ithaca, New York for about a year, which is, for those who don't know, that's where Cornell University is. And I lived in a very small apartment building in the middle of nowhere behind the airport where it was all woods. All woods. It was a small apartment building in the middle of nowhere, all woods. and I was taking my garbage out to the dumpster, and there was a goddamn bear in the dumpster looking for food. And yeah, I ran back in the apartment.
Was it a black bear or grizzly bear?
I don't know. It was probably a grizzly bear. It was dark out, man.
Oh Jesus! No, okay. Black bears.
That thing growled, and you could feel the heat, the heat from the bear in your face, and I felt the growl. It made my stomach vibrate, man. I was petrified.
Did you see the movie Grizzly?
No.
Oh, that's a great Jaws ripoff. That's hilarious.
Well, yeah, dude, I hate bears. Ever since then, I don't do bears. I did not find that part in Jackass 4 funny because I know how scary bears. Dude. I know how scary bears are.
You want a good Grizzly movie? Watch Grizzly 2: The Concert.
No, I've seen. Have you ever seen the movie The Edge with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin?
I haven't seen that one.
That's a good one. They actually had a real bear. His name was Bart the Bear, and they trained him for the movie. It was actually really well done.
Okay.
No CGI.
Grizzly 2, I gotta tell you the story. Grizzly 2 is an in-name only sequel to the first Grizzly. It was supposed to come out in the 80s, but the production got shut down because they were shooting in some foreign country. But this movie had never been finished, never released, and the only way to see it was through bootleg copies. And finally, actually, this year, the director finally put it out in HD. But the thing is, for the longest time, the bootleg versions, the only thing missing was the bear shots. You were watching a whole movie where you didn't even see the bear, right? So what they did was they shot new stuff, not just stock footage from old shit, but they shot new bear footage that doesn't even match the footage from the first. And there's even moments, I think it's a guy in a costume. They purposely made it bad. But here's the catch to this movie and what they sold it on. The cast, you would not believe are in this movie. George Clooney, Charlie Sheen, Laura Dern, Nurse Ratched, John Rhys Davis, Charles Cyphers. They're all in this movie that never got released. And it was someone like George Lucas, Charlie Sheen, and Laura Dern. It was their first movie.
Okay.
It is so bad. They're like the teenagers in a Friday the 13th movie. It's enjoyably bad. And the times they show the bear outside of the stock footage, it's this 14-foot bear puppet, and it looks like shit. And the whole time, John Rhys Davis is our Quint, right?
Yeah.
And he's just he just looks at the camera like, "You've got the devil bear." Look, John Rhys Davis, anything he's in, I'll watch because he makes it good. I remember, this is actually a funny story. I remember as a kid, I watched, there was a 1991 adaptation of The Lost World, the Conan Doyle novel. And it starred John Rhys Davis as Professor Challenger. I'm like, oh, great. Perfect casting. The dinosaurs are barely in the movie. They're in the corner, just going like this, just like.
Wait a minute, is that the one that uses the King Kong 63 roar?
I can't remember if it is.
I think it is. Okay, I saw that when I was a little kid. But
here's what's great about the movie. The only reason it works is because of John Rhys Davis, because he's the only committed actor. But he says the title so many times in this movie. He's kind of like Charlton Heston in Alaska, where he can say the word bear really fucking cool. He's like, "I want that bear," right? But in The Lost World, John Rhys Davis says the title of the movie so cool. So they're he shows them some guy this map, and it's like, "What is that?" And John Rhys Davis is like, "That is the Lost World." And you're like, "Ooh, I'm gonna listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about." So here's the funniest story: why I found out the dinosaurs are barely in it. I met John Rhys Davis at a Comic-Con. I got to talk to him. Really nice guy. If you ever get a chance, meet John Rhys Davis. He is a storyteller. He is amazing. And I said to him, as a kid, I was a big dinosaur guy, and I saw those Lost World movies you did. And I remember thinking, the dinosaurs aren't it. Where are the dinosaurs? As a kid, I was complaining about that. And this is what he said. He chuckled. He was literally laughing at me. And I'm going to quote what he said. He's like, "Oh, my dear boy, I'm so sorry for you. They ran out of money."
Yeah, Osiris the God just said that in the chat.
Yeah, they ran out of money. And he actually said to me, I'm surprised you know about that movie, my dear boy, because nobody knows about that terrible piece of shit. I'm like, no, I liked it. You're the best part of the movie. So, he's great. John Rhys Davies, just go meet him. Coolest guy in the world.
So that's a good segue. I see in the chat there, Noel Anderson says, which bad movie's your favorite? Go ahead. I can't.
Ooh, okay. If we're going to talk
I gotta think for a minute, so go ahead.
You first. Well, I mean, okay.
I don't know. I need to think about it. I mean, it's easy to say, like, The Room, you know.
Like, guilty pleasures. You know they're bad, but you like them. I mean, I can name a couple. Batman and Robin. I know people hate it. I love it. It's a comedy.
Superman 4. Come on,
Superman 4. I'm trying to think of some bad ones. But you know what? Fallen Kingdom, I hated so much. It made me apologize to Jurassic Park 3. And now I actually really like the third one now.
Yeah.
I changed my mind about my review is totally retconned. Right?
Yeah.
You know what? When the Tom and Jerry movie came out this year, which people hated, people actually said the original Tom and Jerry movie was better. No fucking shit. I loved that movie. The original Tom and Jerry movie with Tony J and his classic meme line, "We've got to have money." And the music by Henry Mancini is amazing. I love his cover of his own Tom and Jerry music.
Yeah.
It's mostly, that's the thing. It's mostly animated movies, like bad animated movies that I have a soft spot for because I grew up with a lot of them. Mm-hmm. I love the Tom and Jerry movie. I love the Felix the Cat movie from the 80s. That movie is a drug trip. Like, you want a good, trippy 80s animated movie up there with, like a Ralph Bashki movie? Watch the Felix the Cat movie. It's a Star Wars ripoff. It's got Top Gun-esque music. It is a crazy movie. Like, it goes completely butt-fuck nowhere. But it takes this turn you don't expect. It's great. I love the Gumby movie. That, like, Riff Tracks just put out a riff of it. I want to watch that because I want to see that, because I loved Gumby as a kid, and the movie is amazing. The movie's great. Yeah, but at the end, Gumby's fighting Gumby Robot in Camelot, and the robot's got Excalibur, and then Gumby goes to Star Wars World and gets a lightsaber, and the lightsaber cuts Excalibur. So if you ever wanted that battle of what would win, Excalibur or the lightsaber beats Excalibur.
Yeah.
So, it's animated movies. What is it? Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland. A movie that kind of had production hell, and it came out and it kind of tanked. I love it. It's the combination of Chris Columbus, George Lucas, Ray Bradbury, Sherman Brothers music. It's technically a Miyazaki movie. That's a good one.
Another good one that's bad. It's the Captain America movie from 1990.
Oh, that one's funny for the Psycho Hitler part. That part's hilarious.
I think I'm going to be sick. Pull over.
Oh shit. I wanted to say this. Okay, this one's a little controversial because it's totally historically inaccurate and it's kind of an insult to history. But I kind of love the Magic Voyage. The Magic Voyage was a German animated movie about Christopher Columbus. But they tried to basically make it a Disney movie.
Oh.
And they dubbed it to English in the 90s. And they got Dom DeLuise as Christopher Columbus doing the most stereotypical Italian accent. He literally is looking at a map of the world and he's like, "Basanapa, my nebbish should stink." It's so, like, this guy is Italian already. And you make him do, like, as authentic as Mario, right? Like, I kept expecting him to go, "It's a me, Christopher Columbus." And then that's not even the worst part. Christopher Columbus has a little sidekick animal friend named Hiko, who is a woodworm. And he is voiced by Corey Feldman. And what's really funny is that I met Corey Feldman. I met him at FANEXPO. And that was the one question, because look, I know a lot of people know him from Lost Boys and Stand By Me and even Donatello from the first Ninja Turtles. I asked him the important question about the Magic Voyage. And I had to know on his end what he was doing in that production. I just told him, was that just a check job? And he said, Yeah, it was a check job, but I had fun with the check job. He got to work with Dom DeLuise. He got to work with him in person. And, look, the movie's bad. It's horrible. It's a piece of shit. But I grew up with it, and I know it's not history. I know it's not accurate, but it's got a good premise. It's fun. And look, I even like it now as an adult because in the movie, the crew hate Columbus. They want to hang him. They think he's crazy, which he was. He was a nutball. But they make it where he's like the reason he's a nutball in this movie is because he's talking to a worm. Anybody who talks to a worm is fucking nuts.
Tremors.
So yeah, like, it makes me think maybe the reason Columbus went insane was because a woodworm pretty much implanted itself into his brain and like ate him like an apple or something, rotted his brain out. So it's bad, but I kind of like it. I even like that song at the end. There's a song by some famous artist, I can't remember, but it's kind of nice. Although at the end, it's really funny because the last shot is them sailing off, and it has this horrible added narration by Dom DeLuise where he's like, think about it, Pico. Because of you and me, there's going to be a big, big city right here, and they're going to have stuff named after us. Who knows? Columbus Circle sounds good to me. And then at the end, it shows that the place of America they found was basically Manhattan.
Yeah.
They landed on Manhattan. I'm like, this is insane. This is such a... I want to watch it. I haven't watched it in years, but I want to watch it with a couple of buddies on a lot of drugs to just be like, what the fuck? It's such a dumb movie, but I love it. All right, you're up. There's my rant about a historically inaccurate Christopher Columbus movie.
Yeah. Alex, I already named all the bad movies, but you know what's a bad movie that... Well, I wouldn't say it's a bad movie, but it's a movie I love. Big Trouble in Little Tokyo.
I was going to say Little China. I was like, oh.
No.
Bad movie.
Well, actually, see, it's Big Showdown. Excuse me. It's called Big Showdown. Sorry, it's Big Trouble. Big Showdown in Little Tokyo with Dolph Lundgren and Brandon Lee and Kerry Tagawa. Love that movie. I know it's bad, but my God, it's definitely a solid action flick. Plenty of nudity and
you want to talk about Dolph Lundgren. My favorite movie he did outside of Rocky IV was Masters of the Universe. I fucking love Masters of the Universe.
No, I like Dolph Lundgren, and I actually like him as the Punisher. I know how that's another bad one.
I liked what's his name as Skeletor in that movie. What's his name? Who's the actor who plays Skeletor in the Masters of the Universe movie? I can't remember. I know the actor because he's in it's funny because he played Zorro in a 1974 TV remake of the Tyrone Power movie. And you can find this thing on YouTube. It's free, but it stars him and Ricardo Montalban. So if you've ever wanted to see Skeletor and Khan fight each other, there you go.
Actually, SSJ Force is another one. Spawn. I actually like Spawn. Come at me. I like Spawn.
I like Spawn too. And I want to tell a funny story about this because...
Well, I love the character. Like, I love anything.
Oh, I do too.
Comics. I love the video games.
I was exposed to him as a kid because when I was a kid, the movie had come out and the games and the franchise. But at the time, this was at the time like Batman Forever came out, and I was big into Batman as a kid. Mm-hmm. This is a great story, and I only know this through my memory. I can't find any information on it. Nothing. This was a one-shot deal. This is a great story. I remember when I was a kid, I was in kindergarten. And this was at the time when parents groups were complaining about kids watching too much TV, about things being too violent, rotting. Like, they were pretty much treating television like the drug PSA war of the 80s. And I remember, like when you were a kid in school and you go to the auditorium and they would do like one of those, they'd have like a bunch of community kids come in and do like a show, PSA, like a live show PSA about don't smoke, don't do drugs, can do like those sort of very PSA shows. You remember those as a kid, seeing those in school in the auditorium? They had one about watching too much television, and it was kind of, the plot is very similar to like Captain N, where this kid's just like this like kid in a white t-shirt, he's sitting down, he's watching TV, and he's just bored, and his parents are saying, do your homework, blah, blah, blah. But they make it where he gets so addicted to television that he gets sucked into the TV world. Now, first of all, I get the premise where it's like you're gonna rot your brain, where you're gonna feel like it's reality, and you're gonna die. Right? I get it, but the message is completely ruined because when he enters the TV world, they present that in the show. All of the sudden, fucking Batman shows up. Batman and Robin on stage. At that point, as a child, you've completely lost me. I don't care about the message. Batman is here on stage. I don't care. And then Spawn shows up. Batman met Spawn. This is before I think they did a comic of it. Did they do a comic of that? I think they did, right?
What, Batman and Spawn crossover?
Yeah. Did they do a
sure
comic?
They have.
I'm pretty sure they have. But this was crazy for a young kid. And for a community stage show, like school show that takes tours, props. Like, you did some production. Like, the bat suit looked good. The Spawn suit looked good. And I remember the one scene I remember the most was Batman is like literally gotten his shit kicked out of by Spawn. And he's sitting in the Bat Cave and he's having a headache. And Alfred shows up and says, "So, you all right?" He's like, "No, Alfred, I had an encounter with somebody named Spawn." "Spawn, sir?" Like, I remember this as like a 5-year-old. Like, I shouldn't be having these memories, but I do. And I tell people about this, and it feels like a fever dream. But I'm like, no, I saw this. And the message went past my head because I don't give a fuck. There's Batman. I don't care. You've ruined your entire message because you brought Batman out. I do not care.
Yeah, I just think Spawn gets a bad rep because of, like, the special effects, especially like the hell.
Oh, it looks like an
did not age well, but I don't know. I just, as a kid, I thought it was a fun movie. As an adult, there are some action scenes I actually genuinely like, and of course, I like John Leguizamo. I love Michael Jai White. Like
the two things. The one thing I'll say about the Spawn movie, you know what it basically is for me? It is the Super Mario Brothers movie meets the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. That's what it kind of looked like.
By the way, speaking of Super Mario Brothers movie, I guess I love
that movie.
I guess I'm allowed to talk about it. So right now in production at Nerd Cage Live, I'm working on a Mario Brothers ranking discussion. And one of the guys on that discussion video is Nick Fitkin, which is, Laura Fitkin's husband, the Review Roulette podcast. And it was Laura's idea. I'm going to say this right here, right now, and I hope she's watching. It was Laura's idea saying, hey, let's do a cross promotion. Why don't we watch the Mario Brothers movie on the Review Roulette podcast? Okay, great. I'm in. And so was everybody else. So Laura couldn't find the movie online. So I improvised. I was like, wait, there's a fan edit that's out right now. So we actually all of us watched that fan edit. Oh my God. So bad. The movie, the fan edit doesn't save the movie. There's only one thing that the fan edit does. Now, to be fair, there's nothing wrong with the fan edit. The guy did a good job. The problem is the content makes the movie even worse. It makes it even longer. So there's only one scene that I wish they kept in. There was an awesome car chase scene. Sucks they took that out. But man, watching that watching a 2-hour version of that movie was the nastiest booty sauce I ever watched. Oh my God, that movie was so incredibly boring. I hope I never have to watch it.
Here's the thing, when you bring up these extended cuts, it's funny because there's actually supposed to be a lot of the movie Hook that got cut out. And a lot of fans have been petitioning for that.
Oh, and there were some semi-nudie scenes that got cut out too. I'm sorry to interrupt you. So there were some scenes. You know how they're at that like club or concert?
Yeah, with
there were women with their thongs. There were like women in thongs dancing on stage, and you could see their whole ass. So I understand they took that out.
I like the Mario Brothers movie. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Wait, Jack, watch it again.
No, I mean, I've watched it multiple times and I have a blast with it. It's like Super Mario Blade Runner, basically. And you know what the best part about the movie I liked was Yoshi. I liked Yoshi.
Yeah, Yoshi was good. Yoshi was a really cool effect. I'll give him that.
Fun fact, that movie was shot in the same sound stages they shot King Kong Lives.
Really?
In North Carolina.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, they shot it in the same stages. So wouldn't it have been great if they like were shooting that movie and they had the leftover Kong Live stuff? It's like, hey, let's put Donkey Kong in this movie.
Yo, real quick, because people in the chat keep talking about Howard the Duck.
I love Howard the Duck.
Listen, I just found this ready for your mind to get blown right now. I just found this out recently. Thanks to JoeBlowVideos.com. Howard the Duck, the midget that plays Howard the Duck, also played Chucky in Child's Play. You know how in some scenes in Child's Play where they use the midget to double for Chucky?
Yeah.
That's the same actor who plays Howard the Duck.
That's cute. Well, actually, fun fact. You've seen Ridley Scott's Legend, right?
No, I haven't. I know.
We're gonna do a watch party of Legend. We're gonna do a watch party of Legend.
On your channel.
I will put that down.
Okay, yes.
The thing is with Legend is that one of the goblins, who's actually one of the dwarves in disguise, is an actor named Kieran Shaw. And Kieran Shaw is a very famous little actor. They get him for a lot of stuff with Warwick Davis. Kieran Shaw, who was in Legend, would later play Elijah Wood's scale double in Lord of the Rings. So, when you see this dwarf character, you're like, Frodo! Indian Frodo! No, there's a great behind-the-scenes stories about Lord of the Rings. When Kieran Shaw had to be Frodo in the scenes with Aragorn in the boats going down river in near the Argonauts, right? Like, that in Fellowship. Behind the scenes, they were doing the boat scene, they're rowing, and because Kieran was in a silicone mask of Elijah Wood's face, you couldn't see his mouth move. But he's trying to tell Viggo, he's like, Viggo, don't worry about me. And like, obviously Viggo can't say anything because he's trying not to move his lips. And he's like, if we flip over, we're not going to flip over, Kieran. If we flip over, just save yourself. I can't swim. And like Viggo's like freaking out on the take. So when they get off the shore, he turns to Kieran and he says, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I'm even afraid to take a bath. Oh, man. Like, you gotta watch the appendices of the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings because there's some great... The behind-the-scenes stories are...
I haven't watched Lord of the Rings since I came out in theater, so that'd be a really interesting rewatch.
Oh, 20 years! It's been... This year's the 20th anniversary of Fellowship.
Yep, it is. I know.
And you know what? I do a watch party with you. I do a call watch party, but you know what? I have one condition about Lord of the Rings. We're watching the extended cuts.
That's fine. I've never seen them, so...
The thing is that I've watched the extended cuts so much, I try to go back and watch the theatrical cuts, and they're fucking butchered. They are a butchering of the story. They are poorly cut. They're terribly choppy. Like you're gonna go watch these extended cuts and be like there's a scene in like Return of the King. You've seen Return of the King, obviously.
Yeah, I've seen all three. I've seen all three of the movies, and I saw them all.
Remember when they go to Isengard? Like at the beginning of the third one, and Treebeard's like, there is a wizard to manage here locked in this tower. And Gandalf's just like, and now Solomon must remain under your god. And we just never see Christopher Lee. They cut his scene out and put it in the extended cut. And they had cut it out, and so many people, including Christopher Lee, were so pissed off. They were really, and as the one gripe about Return of the King, it deserves all the praise it gets. It deserves all the Oscars. But cutting out Christopher Lee's scene, your human villain of the last two movies, fuck off. Yeah. And on top of that, he gets a great comeuppance. Whereas in the theatrical cut, Gandalf pretty much says, Solomon, you are grounded. It's pretty much you're giving him the biggest fucking grounding imaginable. Fuck off. But yeah, like go watch. Like we'll watch Lord of the Rings. I think you know what you'll watch again. You'll realize these are because for me, that was my Star Wars. That was my like trilogy. Like my experience.
Yeah. I'll take Lord of the Rings over Star Wars. Sorry, I hate Star Wars. So yeah, I'll take Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord of the Rings. Well, you know what? Hell, you know what? For the longest time, I actually felt because here's the thing with Star Wars is that people debate on what order to watch the movies, whether it be like original trilogy, prequels, then sequels, like how they were released, or in chronological order. obviously now with the sequel trilogy, you could technically watch them in chronological order, especially episode 3. I actually find now episode 3 has better twists for audiences who have never seen it than Empire. Like it's crazy. I've seen reactions to Revenge of the Sith, and the shocks are genuine and they're great. So yeah, Revenge of the Sith in terms of twists beats out Empire. But with Lord of the Rings, I actually was one of those people who said, because I actually really like the Hobbit movies. Like, despite them
I haven't seen the Hobbit movies.
Okay, despite them not being as good, despite them actually, there's a great video essay by Lindsay Ellis on the trilogy and how much they kind of fucked a lot of, like, the Hobbit trilogy in terms of the studios and New Zealand, it fucked a lot of New Zealand up. Like, in fact, you know what's interesting? New Zealand has actually got to the point where they're sick of Lord of the Rings. Because the problem is that
you're talking like a decade plus of them filming there, and
well, no, because the thing is like Lord of the Rings, because the film industry was not nothing in New Zealand outside of Peter Jackson. And on top of that, their economy was struggling. When Rings came out, their economy blew up. Everybody wanted to go to New Zealand. Everybody wanted to go to where the movies were filmed. They wanted to experience Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Then The Hobbit comes out, and because of the rights issues and the courts and everything, it actually fucked a lot of New Zealand's economy and film industry up.
Yeah.
And that is the only issue. Other than that, the movies are fine. Like, I like the Hobbit trilogy. It's not Lord of the Rings, but at least it's consistent. At least, I like to consider it sort of an expansion on the story. Yeah. Because it gives you more, because that's what I liked about it. It was a good chance to actually go back to a world that I really enjoyed and really believed in. And even though it's not Rings, it's fun to kind of go back, and it's like visiting an old home. So, and what's great is, yes, the first one is the one that relies on the most nostalgia, because it really is pretty much a play-for-play numbers of the first one. You know, we go to Rivendell halfway through the movie. We see established characters, Elrond, Saruman, Galadriel. We see Gollum and all that stuff. 2 and 3, like, the second one is, like, okay, I loved the second one when it came out. Smaug the Dragon is one of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen. Benedict Cumberbatch nails that shit. Okay. Like, he is a kick-ass dragon. Watching it now, I find it the weakest because it's boring, it's padding. Like, everything is great up till we get to Lake Town, because Lake Town is such a bore. It's so boring. And then when we go to the dragon, it's great again. But that middle ground, that freaking Lake Town, is terrible. So by the time we get to the third one, I'm so happy that shit got burnt down. Because we can get to the battle. We can get to the 5 armies. And it's awesome. It's fun. And that's what I loved about that. Like, people hated Battle of the 5 Armies. I agree it's not the best one. I agree. I'll admit, even the effects there's some effects in that one that are really bad. Like, there's a shot of Legolas. I'm just going to give you a heads up. Yeah. There's a shot of Legolas who's on a collapsing bridge, and he's trying to hop across the falling stones. That's fine if you can pull it off. But I'm going to actually recreate how he jumps on the stones. He is literally fucking, the animation is on par with Mario jumping on a game of Tetris. It's like bad. I remember I saw that in the cinema, and I laughed my ass off, not because of like the ridiculousness, but because the shot was so bad. I was like, you're Peter Jackson. You're Weta. You're supposed to be better than this. Oh my God.
I'm sure low key Peter Jackson was just tired of doing those movies, to be fair.
Actually, that's one of the other things I don't like about the Hobbit trilogy. It drained Jackson to the point he actually retired. The movies, I think it was mostly the studio interference with the trilogy. He quit. He actually threw in the towel. He didn't make another movie after that. You ever notice that? He hasn't made a movie since The Hobbit?
Hey, he's got nothing more to prove.
Well, I mean, like, he's been tinkering with the idea of maybe directing some episodes of Doctor Who. And so, you know what? Hey, Jackson, if you got it in you, I know you've got plenty of money. But you know what? Why not make another Bad Taste? Why not another Brain Dead? Fuck! I want Meet the Feebles fucking 2.
We have to watch that together.
I want Muppets with AIDS.
We need to watch that movie. We were supposed to watch. We haven't done that yet. Real quick in the chat, Gorjira fan Valerie, again, hi Valerie. She says, "Hey Jack, Cole from Toku Titancast says that Godzilla vs. Megalon is a better movie than Kong 76."
Okay, the poster you can debate, but okay, you know what? Comparing that is like saying Batman and Robin is better than Batman Returns. I will have to disagree. Look, I like Godzilla versus Megalon. I think it's a very dumb, fun movie.
Yes, add that to the list of bad movies that's fun to watch.
But no, I disagree. You know what? Here's the thing with Godzilla. I'll just go off topic here. The worst Godzilla, the parts of Godzilla I hate is from Destroy All Monsters to Godzilla versus Hedorah.
Thank you. I mean, I love Destroy All Monsters, but Hedorah I hate.
Okay, those three
today.
I don't like Destroy All Monsters other than the last act. I hate Destroy All Monsters. Other than the last act. I hate Godzilla's Revenge. Bar none. That's like any movie that does a clip show movie.
Really not a canon, and it's about bullying.
It's so bad it's good, but it's one I just hate watching. And I don't like Hedorah. I like the design. I don't like the movie. But once they did Godzilla versus Gigan, I was like, okay, we're back on track. Right?
I don't like that one either. But
I'll just explain like some of the a brief summary of my worst Godzilla movies. Okay, so the ones I just don't like. Raids Again is boring, aside from a few moments. But Raids Again is kind of boring.
Okay.
I don't like Destroy All Monsters. I hate Godzilla's Revenge. I don't like Hedorah. Heisei era. If there's one I'm gonna say I think is my least favorite,
Space Godzilla.
No, I'm gonna be controversial. I don't like Mechagodzilla 2. And it's only because there's a couple of reasons why. There's parts of the movie I really like. I'm gonna say that. There's parts of the movies I really like. I like Rodan. I like Godzilla's design. I like Godzilla Jr. in that one. I just found it to be a very boring film. I also found that I don't like Mechagodzilla's design in that one.
Neither do I. I agree.
I like the premise. It's just it needed a twerking. It needed a tweaking in the script. You know what? Battle for Earth I don't really like. I don't like Battle for Earth.
That one's worse. I think that one's worse than Mechagodzilla, but I think Space Godzilla is the most booty.
I love Space Godzilla.
It's so bad. That one is boring.
Okay,
come on, the asteroid field.
I love
asteroid field. Little Godzilla.
I love Space Godzilla. No, the reason I like it is because it's almost an anime movie plot. It's sort of an anime movie plot, and I kind of liked it for that. Millennium.
Megaguirus.
Don't like Megaguirus. Really, you know what? I think it's underrated. Final Wars is underrated. I don't hate it, but Final Wars is overrated.
Final Wars is a popcorn flick. Just turn your brain off. It's a popcorn flick, but
it's overrated.
I saw it in theaters.
Okay, Reiwa era. As much as I've tried to go back and watch it, do not like 2014.
I agree.
2014 was a lie.
I don't like the MonsterVerse, so I agree.
Okay, I like the MonsterVerse, but
I like Skull Island. That's it.
Okay, the thing is with 2014 is that the trailers promised us 1954 or the Raymond Burr Godzilla.
Godzilla Begins, the World Ends was the
Bryan Cranston was going to be our Raymond Burr.
Yeah.
And it was a lie. It was Jaws, but without any of the charm. Did not like 2014. Refuse to watch the anime trilogy. I've heard nothing but shit about it.
Oh yeah, it's not. Anime trilogy's not good. I like Point though.
I didn't know how to feel about it when it came out, but over time, I think out of the entire Reiwa era, Shin Godzilla is the best movie.
Oh yeah, by far.
That is a remake of the original, and it updates it. I'm one of those people who even think Godzilla was not created through nuclear bombs. He was created from Fukushima. It was a direct response to Fukushima. Godzilla was Fukushima, and it was great. In fact, he's a Pokemon. In that movie, he's Charizard. He goes from Charmander, Charmeleon to Charizard. He is literally a Pokemon.
No, I agree. I'm a huge fan of Shin. Speaking of Shin, shameless plug, I'll be on Yoko Higuchi's channel on Wednesday for the Shin Godzilla watch party commentary. I'm very honored to be a part of that. So tune into that. Here's a real treat. For those who don't know Yoko Higuchi, he was a production assistant on Shin Godzilla. So the fact that we get to watch the movie with him and his experience and his thoughts on the movie should be a real treat. So go to Yoko Higuchi's channel, sub him up, Resistance Films, Wednesday, 9 o'clock.
I wanted to say this too, because I brought this up on Twitter as sort of a fun little experiment. I thought of, and I talked to D-Man 1954 about it.
Yeah,
I thought of the idea of, I would have to ask Yoko how to go about it. I thought about doing what I call an American re-edit of Shin Godzilla, meaning like, okay, there's obviously an English dub, but find a way to splice in American actors into the movie.
Oh, kind of like
kind of make it look like the Raymond Burr Godzilla movies, where how can we incorporate American actors into this and try to sell it to American audiences? And I think that would be fascinating, because all you'd have to do, because here's how I would shoot it. You'd re-edit the movie where you can add that character, and what you do is you get maybe a popular actual character actor, like an actual person, and you basically film it on sort of the same cameras, like a digital camera that matches to what Shin Godzilla had. And I can shoot that shit in Chinatown. I can shoot that shit in China and just shoot little segments, little scenes to just splice into the cut and just make it look like it's part of the movie. I think that would be an interesting experiment. It wouldn't be sold. It wouldn't be released. It would just be a little experiment I would do of how I could Americanize Shin Godzilla. But unlike that, where they take away all the Japanese elements, I would keep it.
Yeah. That could be a fun little project.
You know, maybe even have it, you know what would be a great concept for a Godzilla movie? Have it where it's like a YouTuber or like a vlogger is in Tokyo and Godzilla attacks, and it's all through a live stream. That would be.
Are you trying to incorporate yourself in the movie?
Well, that or like, you know, like something like, it's sort of like the Cloverfield concept, but with Godzilla, a bit of like Cloverfield with a little bit of
I like Cloverfield. Just for the record, I know a lot of people talk. I actually enjoyed Cloverfield.
What was that?
I like Cloverfield.
Oh, I love Cloverfield.
I generally enjoy that movie.
I don't like how they went all anthology on it. I don't like that. In fact,
I saw 10 Cloverfield Lane. I liked it a lot. I did not see the other ones.
I heard that was garbage. Like that.
No, 10 Cloverfield Lane. Yeah, if you go in knowing that's not a sequel, it's a whole.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think
John Goodman and of course, you know, Mary Elizabeth
was really pushing it to be an anthology series, but much like the Halloween franchise, people don't like that. Especially when you have this established giant monster. We want to see more of that. So that's why I think actually with Godzilla vs. Kong, when that was coming out, Paramount even jumped on and said, we're actually going to do a legit sequel to Cloverfield and have it with Where's the Monster Now? Here's what I would have done from the beginning. If you wanted to do a sequel, same event, New York is under attack, but tell it from a different perspective, a different glamorous perspective. Yeah. And I would call it Cloverfield B-roll.
No, I would be down for, you know, another person in New York City running around with the camera.
Yeah, and how about that for a sequel title? It's not 2, it's B. Your sequels are named after the alphabet. So Cloverfield B-roll, Cloverfield C-roll, you know, stuff like that. That would be interesting, because then you can get different because one of the things they actually, when they did Cloverfield, they took a lot of reference from was all the raw material from September 11th. Now, take that concept. There's so many angles of that event, but apply it to Cloverfield. That's genius. And what's great about it is that you can continue the story and actually see, like, because one of the things about the first one that kind of, it leaves it on kind of a downer, they obviously nuked Manhattan to try to kill this monster. And it's like, well, let's see what happened afterwards. Maybe there's some people who actually got away and we saw the nuke from a totally different angle far away. And
Yeah.
did it kill the monster? Did it like do anything? Does the monster go into mainland outside of Manhattan? Like, let's see more of that. Let's see him actually. This thing is
I'm totally on board with that. So we'll see. Hopefully,
see, that's what I would do. And a lot of, like, the thing is, a lot of my pitches for movies, people are like, "Why isn't Hollywood hiring you?"
And yo, Paramount, if you're listening, you're watching, make it Paramount Plus exclusive.
Not just that.
More
How about this? Make it a like sort of a mini series where it's like you can do a bunch of different separate stories about the event, and they're all episodic. So like maybe it could be like episode 2, the Statue of Liberty Islands. Episode 3, this one takes place in Boston, like across the river of the Hudson River. Like, that's how you can tell the story, is do it all in found footage, the same event, but it's told from different points of view. Hell, if you do a sequel, have a scene where they bump into the characters from the first one passing by. You know, how cool would it be to see T.J. Miller and all those guys in a little cameo? They're running past, and they see those guys, you know, just running past. And T.J.
Well, they can't do that now. They're 10 years older.
Well, they could CGI it. They could probably de-age them very, very quickly. And it's cheap because you can show them very quickly.
Okay.
That would be a fascinating. It'd be kind of like what is it? The Final Destination, where it turned out it was a prequel to the first one.
Yeah.
You know, shit like that. That would be fascinating.
You know, it'd be cool. I'd love to see him do it. So listen, it's almost 2:00. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna call it a night.
Yeah, I'm probably going to call it a night, too. It was fun having you, Jay. If you want, let's just give you a center of attention. Let's give you a plug before you go. Go.
Okay, Jay St. G, that is me. I am the co-host of Nerd Cage Live. Please sub me up, all right? We generally cover, like, movies, comics, TV shows, a little bit of video games, all that. Anything nerd culture, pop culture, that's what we do. We go live every Thursday night, which brings me to what I want to plug in. So this coming Thursday, Big Jack, along with the Review Roulette podcast, Titan Goji, and the Real Talk podcast, we're all going to be sitting down together and we're going to watch Scott Pilgrim versus the World, a Canadian Toronto essential nerd movie. We're going to be watching that. So please check it out. Also, Nerd Cage Live. We have a brand new TikTok. We have a brand new Instagram. Also, we're on Twitter.
Send me your TikTok. I'll follow you because I'm on there all the time. I just had 10,000 followers.
Congrats. Yeah. We just started it. So on TikTok, we do rapid 30-second movie reviews and clips and stuff like that. Just quick little snippets. And of course, our Facebook discussion group. I don't know, Jack, are you part of it?
I don't think I'm on so many groups I can't keep count anymore.
Jack, join it. So we have a Facebook discussion group on Nerd Cage Live where we just, not only that we promote our material, but if there's any content creators, you can promote their material. And of course, we have discussion on movies and comics and TV shows and other time. We got 2 rules: no politics, no spoilers. So yes, check out the Nerd Cage Live Facebook discussion group. All are welcome. It's a cool hangout. It's a good vibe there. And of course, Nerd Cage Live is on every single podcast platform: Podbean, Apple, Spotify. We're on everything. All of our audio only shows. We take our streams and our videos, we take the audios, and we throw them up on so for you audio junkies who like to listen to podcasts, we're on there too. But please sub up our YouTube channel. Hang out with us every Thursday night. And again, this week, me, Big Jack, Titan Goji, and a bunch of our friends, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, watch party at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's 8 o'clock Central, folks, and it's 6 o'clock out there in the West. So Big Jack, congratulations on 1,000 videos. Congratulations on, I don't know, what are you, like 17, 18,000 subs
I'm
now?
almost at 18,000. I feel like if I get to 18,000, I got to do something Android 18 related. It just seems only fair, but I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. But yeah, thank you so much for coming in, Jay. And also, Jay, if you got time, go watch Space Jam 2. I actually really had fun. I had fun with it. I had fun with it.
No.
Leave your brain at the front door.
I don't like, first and foremost, I don't like LeBron James.
Well, you can at least watch it for all the Easter eggs. It's like a Where's Waldo movie.
I'm sorry, I know I'm going to piss off people in the chat. I didn't like the first one, and I was 10 when it came out, okay? I didn't
Wrong
like the
age. I was the right age for it. I was a 5-year-old, so.
It's just, It's not for me. Listen, I'm in the tail end of my 30s. Okay, Space Jam is not for me. Okay,
I think somebody just said you hit 900 subscribers on YouTube already.
I'm not that demographic, so I'm not gonna waste my time because I know I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna go bash the movie because it's not for me. It's not gonna speak to me. So no, I'm not gonna watch Space Jam 2. Okay.
I think Brian just said you just hit 900 subscribers.
Huh? Oh no. I'm at like 450.
Oh, okay. Well, Brian, I think hit it. So congrats.
Oh, congrats! Yeah, congrats.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this 1,000 video stream. It's good having Jay on. Go subscribe to his channel. Of course, guys, go support me on Patreon. $1 more will get you access to all of our content, as well as our special features. I might switch it around. I'll put the Inuyasha vlog up Tuesday, so it'll save me some trouble this week, and you guys can see that. And then Thursday, it'll be a TikTok. I'll do a live stream Wednesday, and then a trailer for the next review Friday. Of course, fan mail. If you guys want to send us mail and so on, at this address, Big Jack Films, P.O. Box 326, Queensville, Ontario, L0G100. We'd love to hear from you. And other than that, we're going to try to get back to live streams as much as we can. It's just about the energy we have. It depends on how we're feeling. But our energy has been a little drained because we're working all day. So we'll try to do more of these. We'll try to have Jay on board. We'll try to have more people on board. But
appreciate it.
Again, guys, thank you so much for 1,000 videos. It's been going really well. We hope to do 1,000 more. So until the next video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. This is Big Jack Films signing off, saying thank you all so much. And we'll see you guys later. Take it easy.
Enjoy life. Stay safe, and good night.
And don't do drugs.